Are the rumors true, Albus?
I'm afraid so, Professor. The good and the bad.
And the boy?
Good evening, wizards, witches, and muggles alike. Welcome to another enchanting episode of The Good and the Bad and the Boy. I am your co-host, Trey, with my other co-host,
Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Hi, Trey.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Doing well. I just finished the topic of our episode over the span of a few weeks, I guess, at this point, since we had a slight gap in recording.
I mean, it took a few weeks to watch.
It
was a long one.
It felt long. I didn't time it, though, so...
It's about 4 hours.
Is it really?
Like 3 hours and
Oh.
like 40 minutes or something.
God, no wonder. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you're curious about what we're talking about, tonight we're talking about the anticipated sequel of a Harry Potter musical, a Harry Potter sequel, done by the same crew, Team Star Kid. Same information, so I'm not going to go into who they are. If you watched the last episode, you know who they are. But they made a sequel to their smash, way off Broadway hit of a Harry Potter musical.
That's an understatement, yeah.
Starring Glee-renowned actor Darren Criss. And this one gets a little crazier.
It does. I have notes.
Yeah. it is definitely the crazier of the two. And I can't remember everything of the third one, so I can't tell if the third one's crazier or not, but we'll get there.
Okay. And just for clarification, the third one is not an actual performance. It's more of a reading.
It's a performance with the scripts from them reading the scripts.
Okay. And I know we briefly touched on it in the first episode with the first show, Harry Potter musical. But do you recall the length of that one? I know it was briefly brought up, but I'm curious.
The length of the first one?
The first one.
Probably about 2 hours, maybe a little more than 2 hours.
Okay. But this one was definitely within like a 3 hour.
Within like 4 hours. I'd say closer to 4 hours. Because the first act, I watched it in 2 acts.
Okay.
The first one was about an hour 50 something, and then the second one was like an hour 37.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because
yeah, it's definitely longer.
I watched it, which I think is their YouTube page, where everything's broken up in like Act 1, Part 1, Act 1, Part 2, Act 1, Part 18.
Yeah, I just watched the one that was just like all of Act 1 and then all of Act 2.
Okay.
If you're looking for this to watch on YouTube, it is on Team Star Kid's YouTube page. Just look up Team Star Kid; it'll pop up. Or a Harry Potter musical, it'll pop up.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to take away from your conversation. I'm sure we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
I'm just. Yeah, I kind of wish I would have watched that one, because this, like, the Act 1 part, whatever, it varies. It's based on, I guess, each scene. So Some parts are, like, one was like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Some are like 15 minutes. So it was hard to keep track from a timing standpoint. But when I tell you, I've watched it here and there on and off over a good 2 weeks. I didn't think it was ever going to end. And then when it finally does, I was like, oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Kind of wraps up pretty quickly. But
yeah, everything just kind of wraps up. But I think it does good. So are you ready to get back to Hogwarts?
I am.
Are you ready to get back to school?
I am.
Okay. So, whereas the first play, a Harry Potter musical, took place kind of a mix of book 1 and book 4 and book 7,
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter sequel is a little bit of book 3 and book 5 put together.
And book 1.
I mean,
Two.
book 1, that it's their first year, but like not really a lot of stuff pulled from that, aside from like the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
But to set the stage for you, the play begins at the end of basically where the last play left off, with Voldemort being defeated, and Lucius Malfoy is angry at Harry Potter killing Voldemort, so he comes up with a plan to go back in time using a time turner to go back to Harry Potter's first year at Hogwarts and kill him before he can kill Voldemort, and thus change the present or change the future. Time travel's weird.
Which, I mean, being a parody aside, a good plan.
Yeah, not a bad plan.
I mean,
Like, if you're going to use time travel,
yeah.
you know, instead of just using it to get to more classes, use it to, you know,
Mhm.
assassinate someone while they're on the toilet or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, Lucius Malfoy and his Death Eaters use the time turner, and they go back to Harry Potter's first year, and then that's where the play picks up as Harry arrives for the first time at King's Cross Station to find 9 3/4, where he meets the whole Weasley family, literally every Weasley, Bill, Charlie included, and baby Ginny.
Yeah. Which is a nice little. I like that moment. I love. He does show up later on, but Mr. Weasley,
Oh, really?
and I love that character.
He annoyed me so much.
I loved it. I thought,
I don't know, that actor,
Mhm.
like, he's only in this play a few times,
yeah,
but his performance just annoys me. Sorry to whoever it is that actor.
well, I think
but
it's the voice. He does that. And I guess I thought of it, but now it slipped my head. But he has a very distinct voice. Oh, it reminded me of like the Mad Hatter from the original Alice in Wonderland,
Yes,
the cartoon.
I could see that.
And
I could see that.
Yeah, it was definitely played up, but I loved it. I wish there were more Weasley moments, because they have like Fred and George and all of that, and you know, outside of that opening scene, they don't really play a.
I'll say Fred and George. I'm surprised to see Fred and George not a part of these musicals,
Yeah,
because I feel like this would be the perfect stage for them. Just parody,
yeah.
just the parody vibe.
But at the same time,
But
you kind of also appreciate that they didn't rely heavily on that.
Yeah, and I mean, Ron kind of steals every scene he's in anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So he meets the Weasleys and he meets Ron, and they bond over their love of red vines.
Okay. So red vines weren't in the first one, right?
I think at some point he may have had them as a snack, just because he was eating the entire time he was on stage.
Yeah,
but
like
not
I remember
not in the way they are in this one.
Okay, that blew my mind. I didn't think about it when we watched the first one, but I mean, this turned me on to red vines. I much prefer red vines over Twizzlers these days.
What's your favorite vine aside from green? What's your favorite way to say red wine in a German accent?
Red vine.
Red vine.
But no, I kind of forgot the impact. So it was a shocker that it didn't really play like a big part in the first one, but it really came all out of the second one.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like muddled my memory a little bit.
Yeah, they were going with the whole kind of a product placement joke.
Yes.
That was just like a running gag throughout the entire show.
Which was funny.
I appreciated.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. There's also the scene where we hear about how Harry Potter got his scar, which is something I always remember, is that he and his parents got in a car crash.
Yeah.
They crashed into a crocodile, and the crocodile ate his parents, and then he took out his knife and gave him that scar. And it's also the scene where they, like, give him the blue headband, which I don't know for sure, but, like, the blue headband was a big deal in the first one with Ron wearing a blue headband. And my theory is that the red wig he had on wasn't staying on, so he put the blue headband on to keep it on.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they just kind of ran with it in the second one.
Yeah. No, I always thought the same thing. I mean, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I had the same theory. And I do like that they do a throwback in this sequel to, I guess, explain something that didn't really need explaining, but at the same time makes it equally as funny because of that.
Yeah. It's also the scene where they eat Bertie Bott's every flavored beans, and Ron gets the taste of defeat.
Which is kind of funny because we brought that up the other day.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the same episode. I think it was an earlier episode, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So the show goes on and they arrive at Hogwarts. Hermione not as present in the very beginning because they're really mean to her. They're mean to Hermione throughout this entire play.
I mean, they were pretty mean to her in but
especially
the first one too. But
yeah.
I do want to say, and this is something that I noticed, but it kind of ties in with like being mean to Hermione. And that was the same thing, like Harry being mean to Ginny in the first one as well. I don't know if you noticed. I noticed that this play was a lot meaner just across the board.
Yeah.
And they definitely heavily relied on Lupin, his character. One of the running gags, and I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, we'll get there, is that he doesn't use language that's appropriate for school-age children because all of these characters are still supposed to be like 11-year-olds. And it's a funny gag, but I noticed throughout the entire play that especially compared to the first one, that there's a lot more like adult humor.
Yeah.
A lot more cursing, a lot more reliance on vulgarity. I'll save my overall opinions, but it was definitely just in comparison to the first one.
Yeah, they drop a lot more F-bombs.
Yeah.
Which I always thought were funny. But speaking of Lupin, I really enjoyed Lupin's character in this.
Yes.
Just kind of always drunk.
Always drunk. Can't sing.
Can't sing. Lupin can't sing.
And the running gag of who was actually James Potter's best friend.
Yeah.
Is it Sirius? Is it Lupin?
Is it Peter
Pettigrew? He was definitely, I would say, like one of my top highlights of the sequel.
And always showing him naked after he transforms from a werewolf.
Yeah. Well, not naked. He had tighty whities.
Not naked. He had tighty whities on and then covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
But they also get the song Hermione Can't Sing.
Mm-hmm.
Which has been getting stuck in my head for the last couple weeks from watching this.
Or is it Hermione Can't Dance?
I mean, Hermione can't draw.
Oh yeah, Hermione can't draw. Lupin can't sing.
Can't sing. Hermione can't draw. She only reads books and she cannot draw, even if she read a how-to draw book. But this is while they're still kind of like not friends with Hermione.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of ganging up on Hermione with everyone else for being a nerd. But then instead of the troll incident, Hermione instead goes into the Shrieking Shack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she volunteers herself because Cho Chang. That's even worse. Chang is does like a dare to whoever goes into the Shrieking Shack. Gets to kiss her. Hermione volunteers, but doesn't want to kiss her, but wants Cho Chang to carry her books through the remainder of the year.
Yeah. So they go, and then Harry and Ron go in after her save her, and that's when we get our first look at Lupin as a werewolf, which is this big, like, set piece where, like, two people are controlling the arms and then one person's controlling the head. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
For, like, a small budget.
And with that, too, because I kind of brought that up at the end of the first episode from, like, a production standpoint, I think it was a balance. There were definitely things that you could tell they put more effort into. I would say most noticeably were the costumes. Like even like the Weasleys and Mr. Weasley particularly had like almost a costume straight out of what you would see in the films. And then some visual gag moments, but we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Attention students, whether you're a witch or wizard looking to discover your potential with an exquisite selection of magical woods and legendary cores, find your perfect wand and let your magical adventure begin at scottingtonwandcrafts.com. Use code TGTBTBPOD, as in the good, the bad, the boy pod, and save 10% off at Scottington Wandcrafts, maker of magnificent magical wands.
So, along with going to Hogwarts for the first year, because Sirius Black is a vicious murderer out to drug and kill Harry Potter, they get Umbridge. Umbridge is kind of the big bad of this play.
Yes.
And she comes in as security, and the gag is that Umbridge is played by the same actor that played Voldemort, who's like this pretty like fit, muscular dude in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. It's just pretty funny in general. And then him just acting really ridiculous as a woman.
Yeah, it was almost, I was trying to think of a comparison because that is like the one thing I remember most from the second one, like not having watched it in quite some time, was Umbridge's portrayal. But I do appreciate that it was less of like kind of borderline like she's really a man, you know, like that wasn't the joke at all. The joke was, you know, my comparison was the principal from Matilda. Yeah, Principal Trunchbull, I think was her name. It was very much supposed to be like that sort of character.
Yeah. But she's so muscular that Dumbledore thinks she's a man.
Yes.
And falls in love with her.
Yes.
For a time. And then Dumbledore and Umbridge have their little dance, moment. But that was after Dumbledore sends her flowers, which for some reason, that scene where he sends her flowers is like one of the funnier moments of the play. Where she's like, I wonder who they're from. Why don't you read the card, ma'am? Okay, little boy. Dumbledore and Umbridge have their little dance and have a date, and then supposedly go off to do it with each other, do things.
It's implied.
And then next, Dumbledore and Snape are talking about it, and he's like, oh my god, Snape, Umbridge is actually a woman. And like they have this big laugh about it, and then she starts texting them. Umbridge texting is also a running gag in this one.
Yeah, she gets a little attached.
Yeah.
To say the least.
And I love it when she texts Snape, are you in Dumbledore's office? Now you've dragged me into this? Snape, honestly, is a lot funnier in this one than I thought he was in the last one.
Yes. Well, because I think he was so tied into the Death Eater aspect from the original that they definitely gave him more like goofy, silly moments.
Yeah.
You know, especially when he gets flat out drunk and offers Harry Potter, you know, I think they were like butterbeers, but yeah, he definitely is another highlight in the sequel.
Yeah, but and then Dumbledore tells him whenever he found out that she was a woman, he did the most rational thing that would make it less awkward, is that he just separated, which angered Umbridge.
Which is kind of the kickoff of why Dumbledore leaves the school, and creates that whole from Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, and Umbridge takes over the school trying to take Dumbledore's job while also trying to win him back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention Snape and Dumbledore just laughing their asses off at Umbridge because of the whole situation. But yeah. So now Umbridge is mad at Dumbledore and trying to take his job and take over the school. And she succeeds in doing that because Harry, Ron, and Hermione end up finding Sirius Black and finding out that he's innocent through the Mirror of Erised, which I thought was a nice little moment.
Yeah, it's in a performance that is purely parody.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like actual, sentimental moments, but they did play that one relatively seriously.
Yeah. And surprisingly, as much as I hate Snape and I hate the whole Always and Snape and Lily thing, they do have a moment with the Mirror of Erised where Snape looks in the mirror and it's just Lily Evans. I thought that was a nice touch to like just because that's literally when they leave Act 1.
Yeah.
They leave it off Act 1 at that, but Umbridge takes over the school because she found out Dumbledore, or she thought Dumbledore was helping Harry help Sirius Black. So she basically deems him a criminal and then takes over the school. And then they go into the second act where everything's now terrible. Everything's terrible. Umbridge is taken over. There's the education decrees. Not to mention we totally missed off the Quidditch game.
Oh, yeah.
Which, in my opinion, is a better Quidditch game than the movies.
Yeah. I mean, I would say they overall pretty forgettable. But, it was fine for what it was.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was entertaining to watch. Just because it was a lot funnier.
Yeah.
But it was more entertaining than any of the Quidditch games I saw in the movies, in my opinion.
Well, supposedly, regardless, she who must not be named supposedly hated writing those scenes.
Well, then she shouldn't have written them.
I don't disagree.
So now everyone's like on edge about Umbridge taking over the school. And they beat up poor Longbottom because they take something out on him. I don't remember what. But they end up all like ganging up on Longbottom. And then Lucius Malfoy approaches Umbridge to convince her to help him kill Harry Potter. Then we get a surprise guest as Malfoy from the future comes in to help sort everything out and help Sirius Black escape from Azkaban using Harry's invisibility cloak.
Yeah, because prior to that, there's a couple of moments where they get help from someone who signs
Little
off.
D.
Yeah, little D.
Which you find out stands for his wiener.
Yeah, a pretty cheap joke.
Cheap, but still funny. We also get a good song with Snape and Lucius talking about the past and where they use a pensieve to show Snape's past with James Potter and Lily, which I thought was a nice scene.
Yeah, I did like that moment. The flashback.
I have to say, this play does those flashbacks better than the movies did.
Oh, in the movies, they were horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was... I think maybe they would have been better if they were like real scenes versus like quick shots that they were in the movies. But yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. You get poor Snape as a kid when he lashes out and calls Lily a mudblood. And James Potter acting like a total douchebag. Which is like the entire point of the song.
Yeah.
Is that James Potter is a douchebag.
Yeah.
So because of that, Snape agrees to let Lucius and Umbridge kill Harry Potter. And they do so by she calls him to detention to torture and question him.
Well, then you also get a little backstory in and around that time. Like with Umbridge, she starts, I guess, having like a mental break.
When she sees
her mom, and that musical number, and then like sharpening the axe and wanting
replacing Boss Ephron with Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, Which I do. It was funny. I like that moment,
Yeah.
replacing the poster. But I guess that's pulled from, like, I don't know if that was like a Shining reference with like the axe and like wanting to protect the
Probably.
children, essentially wanting to kill the children without hurting them. It's a very, very crazy moment, but a
Yeah.
little like that's her where you find out a little more like why she is the way she is.
I didn't think about that. That probably was a Shining reference.
It's been a long time since I watched The Shining, but that was, especially with the axe, that
Yeah.
was my connection. I
have a
wrong.
confession to make. I've never actually seen The Shining, the Jack Nicholson one.
I don't hold that against you. I mean, I didn't see The Godfather until I think I watched it during COVID. So
See, I watched The Godfather when I was probably way too young to watch The Godfather.
and I was kind of the
And
same
Scarface.
with the Shining. Well, confession for me, I've never seen Scarface, and nor do I really want to.
You should. It's worth the watch. But I did I didn't see the Jack Nicholson Shining. I saw the Shining with Steven Weber.
Yeah.
That was like a made-for-TV version that was apparently closer to the book,
Yes.
where he uses a croquet mallet instead of an axe.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. just a little tangent to run on.
Yeah.
So yeah, she goes in to torture Harry Potter, but Ron, Hermione, and future Malfoy come in and disguised as I can't talk tonight. Disguised as Death Eaters to sneak in and stop the torture by giving them a fake pizza.
Because and this is going back a little bit, but it's Lucius Malfoy, but they use was it Yaxley?
Yaxley,
One of the Death
Caro?
Eaters, something. Yeah, I think one of the Caros is kind of like his henchman. Yeah.
Which I mean, I think as a character he was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's like your typical dumb henchman. He falls for the fake pizza when Ron
Twice.
opens up the pizza box. There's a big hole, and he like just punches him,
and then does it again.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, but I guess you won't get the real pizza. It was honestly at this point where they started this that I felt the play started to fall apart a little bit.
Well, I feel like with any time travel aspect.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just like, I don't know. It felt like they were going a lot off script, and just things were kind of happening.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we'll share our overall opinions, but I didn't really care for any of the like Malfoy being Malfoy from the future and all of that. I mean, honestly, I feel like you could have done this maybe without the time travel aspect.
Probably.
Because it really, in the end, like it doesn't pay off for the most part. And honestly, like halfway through the play, again, watching this in like clips for the last couple of weeks, maybe I missed something, but I felt like the introduction with Lucius and the Time Turner, by the time that comes back into like the main plot, it feels like forever. Like you almost kind of forget that it's a time travel story versus just like a standard prequel. Like
it's barely a subplot.
But at the same time, it's the main plot. But they don't lean into it as much as I thought they would.
No, the first time that like Lucius Malfoy even comes back into the story is the Quidditch game.
Yeah,
which
felt
more than halfway through Act 1.
Yeah. And then the whole, I mentioned it being a cheap joke, but the whole like Malfoy from the future, Lil D, I felt like it. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it wasn't needed. They didn't need to do the time travel it very well could have just been a prequel to be a prequel, which would kind of be funny because it's a Harry Potter sequel. Like, there's a joke in that in itself.
Well, it's like Red Dead Redemption 2 being a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1.
Exactly. So that's just my thought. But I do like, the introduction to Ferenz.
Yeah.
That character, which is hilarious. And it's a purely physical gag. He has a very tiny horse body.
It's like a horse toy cut in half, taped onto the back of his pants.
Yes.
Which I think is a brilliant way to costume a centaur.
Yes. I mean, it is very funny. There's a moment where he is fighting Lucius, I think. No, Umbridge. And Umbridge technically punches him in the nuts, but he's like, ow, my chest. Because if you're a centaur... that's where your chest would be. So it was pretty amusing, but
yeah. No, I really like that gag a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they talk about his giant huge horse cock.
Yeah. Again, very vulgar. This
Yeah, it definitely throws any pretense out and it's just like this is an adult. This is very not for kids.
Yes.
But you also find out whenever the group, Harry and Ron and Hermione and Malfoy, future Malfoy, confront Lucius, you find out that there's a scandal about Malfoy's father, who his real father is, and it's Dobby.
Mm-hmm.
That apparently Narcissa Malfoy had an affair with Dobby.
Which, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that's why Malfoy is afraid of using the toilet.
Yeah, which is mentioned.
Yeah,
mentioned earlier. Nice callback. I mean, I think it's definitely a joke that works. But there is a line that Malfoy mentions killing a litter of Dobby's young, and that those were potentially his brothers, which is extremely dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's a funny joke. I do that whole moment where, you find out that Dobby is really Malfoy's father is fantastic, is perfect. And I mean, they do, that's why they call him Little D, because he's part elf and his penis is small because of that.
Because as Lucius puts, you're a fucking elf.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do. It's one of, I mean, I did find the performance, the play funny, but this was one of the moments that really made me laugh out loud.
But this is also as they're starting to wrap up the entire story, and you get the famous Dementor scene of all the Dementors attacking Harry and Sirius, sent by Umbridge, who is fighting Ferenz the Centaur, and Ferenz becomes infatuated with her because she's so strong, and she's like, finally a woman that can withstand coitus with a centaur.
Yeah. Which
just goes back to a whole lot of other theories that I won't talk about again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, within, I guess, the fandom, theorize what happened to Umbridge when she was taken by the centaurs. I mean, we know, I think realistically, it was not that. For them to use it as a plot point, to the extent that she does end up going along with it, to be fair.
Then becomes obsessed with friends and texting friends.
Yeah, but he's all for it. I mean, it's, they find their connection. But
Did you get my text?
Again.
You didn't text me back.
Very, very vulgar. Very, this is not, it was a bit of a shocker, the stark difference in humor between the first one and the second one.
Yeah. And then and then after that, they do go back in time to try and save. They go back in time from being back in time to go back in time to save Sirius. With Dumbledore's help. And then, because Umbridge was taken care of with the centaurs, they were able to fix all the problems, and Dumbledore was able to come back and sort his office out and put the Boss Zephron poster back up, which they bring in Voldemort as the poster again.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny, a nice little throwback. And that Dumbledore's wearing, I'm guessing it's the jersey from High School Musical.
Yes, I think that's what it was supposed to be.
Okay. And that's kind of where it ends. The end. Everyone lives happily ever after.
Until the following year.
Until the following year, where sadly Sirius and Lupin die, even though that they're now off being the best friends.
And it was mentioned in the first one, but another I guess gag throughout the performance was you actually see the scarf of sexual preference and the Sorting Hat. There's actually like good puppetry in this one.
They have another play called Starship that's like a majority of it is puppets, and they do it really well.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
You mentioned that last episode. I haven't. My time was clearly taken up with watching this, but
well, if you get the chance, I definitely recommend it. It's really good.
Yeah, I think I will go back and watch that one. What was the other one they did? The
Me and My Dick.
Me and My Dick. I saw that one. But again, I haven't seen that since these came out. So it's been a while. But no, it was funny to see. And then I don't like one of the I guess fun facts that I read is the scarf of sexual preference is like a gag in some of their other performances. I don't know. Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know if that was true or not, but
I did like how the scarf sorted Ron and Hermione.
Oh yeah, because they actually get sorted by the scarf as well on top of.
And Harry Potter is metrosexual.
Yeah.
And then Harry comes up to Ron and Hermione's like, "What do you guys sorted as? Bi-curious, waiting till marriage."
Yeah.
Running a podcast can be expensive, $35 a month to be exact, but we're not going to ask you, our listeners, to front the cost. Instead, consider making a small donation to a charity we hold dear to our hearts, the Trevor Project, the leading suicide prevention, crisis, and intervention nonprofit organization for LGBTQ+ young people. Bravery, intelligence, hard work, and ambition. With these values, we can unite and change the world. Let's make magic happen today. Yeah, and then the play ends with, a nice conversation with Harry and Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring back Get Back to Hogwarts song from the first one. And then it ends.
Yeah, extremely catchy. And I was actually thinking throughout the entire performance, I was like, are they not going to use it again? Like I thought at some point. So it was nice by the end of it that they actually do bring it back. Much joy of the audience, because everyone started like clapping and hooting and hollering when they started singing it.
I'll say this. Between this one and the first one, I definitely think the first one's the better one.
Oh, for sure.
Whereas this one feels a lot like they did it just because their friends wanted them to do it or something.
Well,
something like that.
Yeah, and I was surprised when I was kind of like researching some like behind the scenes stuff was that, I mean, it did release a year after the first one. The first one was 2009. The second one was 2010. And then the third one was 2012. So there was a bigger gap. And then clearly, like, not seeing the third one yet, it's hard to say for sure, like, what my overall opinion of the series. But yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly that the first one is definitely more enjoyable. And I don't know, I've mentioned it before, but like it being more mean-spirited, like I'm not against that type of humor. The way we tease each other in our friend group isn't the nicest. So I feel like I'm not being a prude, but I feel like they just relied too much on the crude humor, where the first one felt I think the way you put it, like, it felt more real. It felt like it was created as a passion project, whereas the second one was like, oh, we should do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying I didn't enjoy this one, because I did, and there were a lot of moments that had me laughing, but like this one definitely, I feel like the music took a back seat, and it probably had the most forgettable songs.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I came across is that they used, I don't think from their other like productions, but supposedly some of the songs were repurposed from other projects that they did.
See, I didn't know that.
Which I think is probably why you feel that way. Because I felt the same. I mean, honestly, the first song was, actually, I have it in my notes. The first one was like the Lucius song. And then the second song
was Harry frickin' Potter.
Was Harry, which was good. Like, it was catchy, it was fun. It reminded me of going back to Hogwarts or whatever the name.
It reminded me the song existed when I heard it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I remember the song now.
Yeah, I'm Harry freaking Potter. Like, it had a good, like, it was good. But some of the other songs, with you 100%, completely forgettable.
Yeah. Whereas, like, in the first musical, to this day, I still remember most of the songs, and I'll still get them stuck in my head every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, and like, from a production standpoint, it's very similar to the first. Like, it's a very, they reuse some of the stuff from the first and stuff like that. There's some improvements, I think, mainly with like the puppets, like the Sorting Hat.
And they actually had a backdrop.
They used it in some moments in the first one. But yes, But
you notice it's the same backdrop as the cover of the first book.
Well, and I forgot to mention this, but they do that a lot. The way Harry Potter is dressed in the beginning with the yellow shirt with the red stripe is like pre-movies. There's a very short time frame where there was a lot of Harry Potter merchandise that was based more on book depictions. And a lot of the way the characters are represented in this is callbacks to, so like Harry Potter shirt is definitely from like pre-movie depictions of Harry Potter artwork. I've seen it. I can find examples if I'm not going insane. I will post them to Instagram. But then same with Ron. Ron was always depicted like in his sweater with the R from the first book, but like that's, for whatever reason, that's what they always put him in like some pre-movie merchandise and depictions and things like that. But yes, that coincides with the background of Hogwarts being inspired by the book illustrations.
Yeah, and even in the Quidditch game, they set up the same visual of like Harry catching the snitch. Mm-hmm. They do like a kind of like a freeze frame of it.
Yeah,
which I thought was I thought it was a nice throwback.
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows the like I there is care put into this, and there is, I would assume you would have to be a fan of Harry Potter to put this much work into something. Yeah. So, when we say the second one isn't as passionate, that may be maybe a little harsh, but I think when you compare the two, and I'm definitely intrigued because I've never heard the third one. Like, I remember watching the first one. I remember watching the second one. In 2012, I don't know. I just don't recall it at all. So to me, I feel like it's going to be completely new.
In the third one, it's even more stripped down because they don't have like a lot of set pieces because they're just reading it, standing on a stage at MuggleCon or whichever con it was.
LeakyCon or
LeakyCon. But yeah, thus tells the tale of Harry Potter, a very Potter sequel.
I felt like one of the things that bothered me with this one, I felt like it was more adult focused. Like it was more like there actually wasn't a lot of like, I'm trying to think of how to put this. Like there were substantially, or it felt like there were less scenes with like Harry Potter, Ron Weasley. Like it felt like it was more Umbridge centric and all of that.
Yeah.
I think kind of goes with the comparison between the first one too. I don't know. I just thought it was strange. Like some of that, like by the end of it, because I feel like the first one has so many funny moments with like Ron and Harry and how they treat Ginny and Hermione and all the other characters too. Draco, like I felt like they were all barely in it. Like it was more focused on the adult characters than it was the kid characters.
I mean, the scenes in the beginning between like Harry and Ron I thought were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime the red vine joke came up, and I like the end when he uses the red vine as a wand.
Yeah, red vines. What can't they do?
What the hell can't they do? But yeah, this one, it definitely was a lot sillier. Especially with the character of Umbridge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely like a ramped up, you know. And I mean, it's a sequel. So you take what scenes probably got the biggest laughs in the first ones and you try to replicate those. I mean, one of the funniest moments was Peter Pettigrew's transformation. They think he's the rat, and they take Ron's rat, and they all like stomp him.
Stomp on it.
They get in a circle and just kill him, and then he ends up being the Peter Pettigrew is actually the
Taylor Lautner poster.
Taylor Lautner poster, which is
sorry about your rat, Ron. He's been dead for years.
Yeah, it's just strange, but at the same time, like it just, I feel like it was so reliant on the. Like more the shock value, and less of like the story and jokes. I mean, and I think Umbridge, while entertaining, I love the Quirrell and Voldemort dynamic so much from the first one. And you didn't really have that here. I mean, I would say if anything, they like you had Lucius and Yaxley would be the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
But
or Dumbledore and Snape.
Yeah.
Which isn't even as much as it was Dumbledore and Snape in the first one.
Yeah. So, you know, things like that. It definitely falls into the traditional. The first one's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, what did you think of, you know, because we do get introduced to a substantial amount of new characters. Sirius, Lupin.
Pretty much all the students.
The Weasleys. Rita Skeeter plays a part in not like a major plot point, but she
pops up a couple times
to kind of recap, you know, things that
and
happened.
she was played by the actress that played Ginny.
Mm-hmm. And then Firenze. Did I say Sirius?
Cedric, not Cedric. What's the Irish kid's name?
Oh, Seamus Finnegan.
Yeah,
which is okay. Stereotypical Irish person.
Yeah,
they really play that up, and then the other one,
Dean
Thomas. They did the same thing.
Stereotypical.
He was like the token black kid.
Yeah.
Which is funny. More so because they do it, you know, for both of them. With that said, though, just to extend discussion a little bit, like from an improvement standpoint, like who was your favorite addition to the characters, like, or how the characters were spoofed?
Probably my favorite addition was the expounding on Snape as a character and giving him more, like we said, more humorous stuff to do than the first one. I liked Umbridge to a degree, but sometimes she was a bit much.
Yeah.
And then Remus and Sirius were really good.
Yeah, I was surprised with, I mean, for me, the highlight would be Lupin. I think the only takeaway that I think the whole thing suffers from is like the crude humor. I think if you would have left that to Lupin, like if that was Lupin's thing, it would have been 10 times funnier. But the fact that everyone's cursing, everyone's throwing out F-bombs, everyone's being vulgar, Lupin's kind of the one that starts that. It kind of takes away from the character in this, but still extremely funny. I mean, I enjoyed him, I think, the most. I like the gag of they keep guessing the wrong creature that he is. Like, I think they call him a vampire.
Vampire robot.
A robot. And then there was another one towards the end, but I can't recall what it was.
I remember them saying it, but something else that I was complaining about this one is that there were times where it was so quiet I could not hear, or like the voices were completely drowned out by the music.
So
it's like, did they not have microphones?
There were a couple of moments like that. I will say from a video standpoint, this one was much clearer than the first one. But I had that same problem with the first one too, from a production standpoint. Especially when people are like laughing and clapping. And then, just the odd moments of them delivering their lines much quieter is strange. But
yeah, like there are a lot of jokes that were just lost because I couldn't hear what they said.
Yeah.
And like I know they were supposed to be funny because everyone else is laughing at it. I was like, I have no idea what they said.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that came up, and I mean, I don't know how many times they truly performed this, but I saw that they only performed it twice, which I'm sure is true. I mean, if you're not able to make money on it, I can't imagine this is something that would run for a long amount of time.
Yeah.
I did notice, I'm sure you did too, assuming it was in the same version you watched, but they actually did some video editing as well in this one.
Of Lucius falling down.
Lucius falling down, and then they did another one, I think, with, I want to say it was in the Firenze Umbridge fight, where they like play it back multiple times.
Yeah.
Like Lucius was falling through the boxes, so they like repeated that motion a couple of times, which was kind of jarring, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting it. But they tried something different. But I think, for what it is, it's fine.
At the end of the day, it was a good watch.
Yeah, it's supposed to be something that was fun. They probably did 2 performances over a weekend, recorded it, and then released it on YouTube a few months later. I did think it was funny that I think within 2 days, let me see, 2 days or 2 weeks, because this is still like early YouTube. This isn't YouTube.
It's like mid-YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, so they rapidly gained views. Within 2 days, they received over 160,000 views, which is good. But these days, the next Marvel movie comes out and they rack up 1 million views, within the first couple of hours.
Or the first trailer comes out.
Exactly. So it was kind of funny reading that and going back to how different things are, or how different things were back then. But critically, you mentioned it too, and clearly we talked about it, but a lot of people did say too that, the plot being not as tight as the first one. But I think still within the fandom, highly regarded. I mean, it's a Harry Potter musical is up there with the popularity of Potter Puppet Pals, which go back and listen to our episode on Potter Puppet Pals. But, we didn't have much back then. I think Potter Puppet Pals, was probably more popular than a Harry Potter musical.
Well, Potter Puppet Pals is
But shorter.
quicker.
Shorter, yeah. It would fit in perfect, I think, in today's world of like TikTok and and I'm surprised they haven't brought it back. But
I mean, I see it on TikTok
every
now and then.
Oh yeah, I see like the old. I'm talking about like renewing, doing new videos. I think it would fit right in for that short like brand of humor. And then a Harry Potter musical. Clearly, you need hours worth of time.
Yeah, 4 hours
to put into this production. But I think well worth it. I think if you're, I hate to say it, a Harry Potter fan who was not born during that time and now wants to go back and watch it and might not be aware of it, I highly suggest it. I think it would be jarring watching the first one and then the second one, especially back to back, the humor is very different, as we said, but I think it's worth it. I don't feel that my time was wasted. No. I'm still intrigued about the third one.
I remember, I don't remember all of the third one, but I remember the overall plot, or what the overall plot was, but that's about it.
Do you mind sharing? Because I haven't done anything yet.
So for the third one, Gilderoy Lockhart is the bad guy.
Okay.
And he's basically taken stories from the Muggle world.
Oh, you did mention that.
I did mention
our last episode.
Okay. And took the stories of Twilight from the Muggle world and played them off that he wrote them, and now he's trying to take the story of Harry Potter to sell to Muggle readers.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all I remember.
So, assuming we do something else next episode before going into the third one, or do you want to just go straight into the third one?
No, let's do another topic and
break it up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll think of something to come up with.
And then, spoiler alert, after my next topic after the third one is going to be Cursed Child, because I want to stay in the theatrical world for a little bit.
No.
I know.
No.
I know.
Oh, it's an audiobook, right? Maybe I can.
Probably.
I think I feel like I would better digest it in an audio version than having to read it.
The book sitting right there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know, because I'll need to probably start reading it now.
It's not because it's a script. It's not a long book.
Yeah.
It's not a long read.
No, that's what I hear. I'm gonna look up the audio version. Maybe I can find it free on YouTube or something. But okay, I'm excited. I haven't read that either, as I've stated many of times before.
Well, now's your chance.
Well, now I have to, because if we're gonna talk about it, I'm going to want to have to talk about it. So, okay. Well, is that it? Is that all we have for this episode?
Yeah, that's all I have for a Harry Potter sequel. I don't know what the next topic was, but my next topic will be a Harry Potter senior year.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought of it yet, but...
And then there's supposed to be a Harry Potter reunion musical, but I don't know if they ever did that or they're planning to do it. I've heard rumors of it.
Okay. I'll have to look that up too. Maybe we can tie that in and see where they're at with that. But no, I appreciate it. I will say it's always a pleasure. I felt the same way going back and watching Potter Puppet Pals and reliving and maybe having those suppressed memories come back with red vines and stuff like that. And those memories that tie into that with our road trip to Wizarding World of Harry Potter for the first time, which I think we did buy red vines and all of that.
And I know your wife with the soundtrack.
Yes. Yes. So it does bring me back to a happier time, and I very much enjoyed it. So, we'll see how my opinions are after we talk about Cursed Child and how much I hate you. But we'll see.
Hey, I didn't write it.
The Good, the Bad, and the Boy is an independently produced podcast. Stock media, Wizard theme music provided by Adam Monroe at Pond 5.
Music, a magic beyond all we do here.
Voiceovers provided by artists Sarah Jackson and Dibby Masters. Links to their creative works can be found in our podcast channel and episode descriptions.
Hearing voices no one else can hear isn't a good sign, even in the wizarding world.
You can rate and review us on your preferred podcast platform, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Good, The Bad, and The Boy Podcast, all one word. Questions, suggestions, feedback, and howlers can be sent to us directly at thegood, thebad, and theboy@gmail.com. You're a wizard, Harry.
A what?
A wizard.